That was 50 pesos?
Yeah, we ordered it all together. That was about a third.
Make sure.
That was
Maybe off.
250.
All right, perfect. I think that we are on. Let me just make sure. Give me 1 second. All right, there it is right there. All right, so guys, welcome to today's interview session. We have Devani here. I am so excited to have her on board. Some of you may know, I'm currently in Mexico. I actually met Devani when I was in Las Vegas just last month, and we met and we started talking. And she was telling me everything. Actually, what was really funny, this is actually, I think, the best part, is we didn't even realize we were on the same exact flight together coming into Las Vegas. So we were all texting, and we realized that she was like 3 rows ahead of me. So let me just make sure everybody can hear us okay. I hope that everybody can. Let me just make sure. Just give me 1 second. Can you hear us okay? Okay, perfect. So great. Can hear now. Awesome. Good, guys. So going through this process and working, and as I've learned, is what Devani does is Devani focuses all of her attention on social media community management. And when I say this, what's really interesting about this is that she's not like a normal social media manager. She doesn't just post content. She doesn't just try to get Facebook likes and all this. Where she focuses her attention is how can I monetize the group? So she actually looks at a group as a small community, and she starts growing it and growing it and growing it and starts monetizing it. And she has now successfully grown 2 Facebook communities into 6 figures. So welcome, Devani. I'm gonna let you share a little bit about yourself as well and take it away a little bit.
Thanks. I'm Devani, and I help people with their online marketing. I help entrepreneurs who, especially like entrepreneurs who really want to create communities around their product, their service, their passion. And I, like Adam said, I do that by helping them build tribes of people who actually want to buy what they have to sell. And I'm really excited to share with you how you can use a Facebook group and why you would want to use a Facebook group to build your community. I know a lot of social media these days focuses on pages and advertising and, different platforms and profiles, and groups, especially Facebook groups, have been growing a lot, especially in the past 2 years. And people just building communities, whether it's about entrepreneurship, whether it's about cooking, just interest-based communities of people. And so what I help with is getting you to monetize on that. And do you want to just start now?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing that I think, and let me just make sure, guys, who's excited here? Just type in the question box. I want to see who is excited and who is here. And guys, what industry are you in? So what I want everybody to do right now is type in what industry you are in, so that way we can make this work for you, okay? So everybody right now, type the industry that you're in inside the questions box, just so I can see where everybody is. Okay, so I see a couple of you doing it now. So do that right now, everybody. Now, what I wanna do is, I think what's best is that we start with, how do you start the Facebook group? So I feel like a Facebook group, what many people look at it is that they're trying to, like, they don't know where to begin. Like that, I think that's the biggest challenge. Like, how do I get my community going? How do I start attracting individuals into my group? Where does that all begin? I feel like everybody here knows how to start up, like how to go and press create a group, but actually getting community members involved. What are the best practices that you've seen in sort of getting that community up and going? Where do you think that that true value starts to begin?
Absolutely. So starting a group is like starting a business or writing a book or really any endeavor. You want to identify your 3 to 5 target benefits to your members. And just backing up one step, you want to really establish with yourself the purpose of your group. So you guys, with your digital strategy marketing group, it is solely for the purpose of getting people into your sort of email funnel so that you can tell them about the tools and the tricks and the trades of marketing and sort of be the thought leader in your group. So when you're starting a Facebook group, no matter if you're serving other entrepreneurs, if you're serving clients, whatever purpose it is, you need to know why you have that group in place so that your members know why they should bother joining. So do you have an example? Did someone type in an industry they were in that maybe we can sort of build a example from?
Sure. So I see a lot of social media and local businesses. I see one from the automotive, vertically neutral, I guess. So I guess, yeah, local services is definitely the #1 thing that's popping up right now.
Wow, cool. So is there any specific type of local service, like a restaurant or car place or
Yeah,
anything?
so I see, let me see. So I see local business. So I see, what I would say is, I guess I've heard automotive quite a bit. I've heard real estate quite a bit as well. And then also another one that I've been seeing is restaurants. Restaurants have definitely been starting to pop up as well.
All great industries. So if you're going to start a Facebook group based on a local market, you're going to want to identify, do you want potential clients or current clients inside your group? And my suggestion is you have both in your group. So people who have bought homes from you before, or cars, or eat at your restaurant regularly, or you also have people who could be potential customers and clients and anybody who could come through your door or get business from you. And your purpose of the group is either to become a thought leader or industry expert. So that's sort of one bubble. You're either being the thought leader or industry expert, or 2, you're providing a platform for other people to just help each other and build a community that way. So sort of like a mastermind style group. And if you're a local business, my suggestion is you become sort of the industry thought leader and an expert that people go to for local needs. So if you're a restaurant, a very easy way to do this is you become almost like a local attraction. So not only are you talking about your restaurant, but you're also talking about what people can do locally so that you can drive interest around your area, because you want people coming back, right? That's the whole purpose of a group. You want regular people coming back and you want new people to be attracted to you. And real estate is also a good example. People looking to buy homes, whether it's investors or take your target market. So either you're selling to investors who want to buy a lot of homes, or you're selling to people who are looking for a home to live in. And so when you lay that out, when you're mapping that out in a document, then you need to map out how will I be helping them? Will I be sharing tips on buying homes? Will I be using the group to update people on houses that are for sale? How will I be using this to provide the most value? And one of my favorite features of groups is that you can survey people really easily. And people love giving their 2 cents on things.
Yeah.
So the more you can ask questions that elicit a response. So what kind of homes are you looking for? What interests you? Why? What type of area are you looking to move into? Things like that give you direct feedback about the people that you're wanting to serve, not only allows them to feel like they're contributing and sharing and being heard, but it gives you a ton of golden market data so that you can have something to sell them.
Okay, that makes good sense. And let me ask you, so let's say if I'm a marketing agency, a local marketing agency, now what type of a group should I format? So let's say if I'm a marketing agency targeting real estate agents, or a marketing, let's actually just stick with real estate for right now, just so everybody can get a true idea. Now, if I'm a marketing agency and I only work with real estate agents, how do I go out and how am I going to start attracting real estate agents inside of my group?
Yeah, so great question. So it's the same way that you would market any other service. So what you're going to be doing is, so you can use targeting Facebook ads, and that is fantastic. But if you want to first grow more organically, then what you're going to do is, you're going to send an email to your email list that you have this group and use what you laid out before, why this would benefit local real estate agents. So if you were starting that group, you would be like, okay, I'm going to be sharing tips on how you can market yourself to your local market, how you can gain clients, and it will all be geared toward real estate. And you'll want to send that out to your email list, to your current social media list, and use Facebook advertising to attract that target market to your group.
Okay, so when you say Facebook advertising, so you're saying that there is a way to do ads to the group directly where people will actually start joining your group, and how do you do that? How do you go about doing that?
The best way to do an ad to your Facebook group is to have an opt-in, actually. So you create a basic landing page that outlines, hey, I'm starting, I would name it, so whatever your company name is, and name that group, and then you list your 3 to 5 benefits of why your target market would want to join the group. You know, I'm going to be sharing tips, and this will become a mastermind for local real estate agents to give each other ideas on what's working and what's not working. I will be providing, you know, video training, whatever it is you feel like you want to provide to them. Have them, and then they opt in on that landing page, and in the thank you page, you have the link for them to click and join the group. And so for your Facebook ad, you would direct them to that landing page.
Okay, so that makes sense. So you
which
actually
is a little more advanced than just organic Facebook growth, but you're getting targeted people as opposed to just, you know how you create a group and you get all these random names and you're not really sure if they should be there.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what you're saying is actually you send them to a landing page first where then they opt in, and then you're able to send them directly to your group. So really it sounds like these groups are situated that you need to be like an advisor figure almost. Like you need to consistently be providing value, and there should be like one core value that you are providing, whether that be video training or tips on the best marketing that's coming out, correct?
Absolutely. And you know, you can have several angles to it, because like one of our groups, one of the best features is that people can share ideas with each other. They can come in and say, hey guys, I tried creating this email sequence for my business, and you know, this is what worked, this is what didn't work, and people start learning from each other. But initially it is really good for you to establish your authority in the group. And then the side benefit is also, oh, and by the way, you can mastermind and brainstorm with other people who share your interests or are also learning and on this journey with you.
Okay, that makes sense. And one other thing kind of with that is I see, and guys, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them inside the questions box. So just please feel free to ask them at any time, and I can always go over and start asking these questions. Now, the question that I have for you is a lot of these groups that when you start reaching out to people and you start building up this, what's it called? When you start building up this community, how do you stop from like creating a spam community? You know, like when there's all those like junk people that start coming in, how do you avoid that?
Yeah, so that's a big thing. My recommendation is you start out with at least 4 rules and guidelines, because we want to believe that most people are mature and responsible in a group. But the fact is, there's a lot of people who want to join a group just so they can market themselves or just get, and they're trying to reach other people just like we're trying to reach other people. They're just going about it the wrong way, or they're just completely spamming. And so my recommendation is have 4 rules at least to start with. You know, be polite, you know, listen to each other, no promotions. And not having promotions can sometimes rub people different ways, because there are some people who want to naturally be like, oh, I'm creating this group so you can promote to each other. And that's fine, but you need to have some ground rules, because people will take that too far. And as an admin, somebody who's talked to many group admins, it's been one of those sticky topics where like we want you to promote yourself, but we don't want to spam the group. So having solid ground rules before you even start, even if it's just 4, helps you. And then as you grow the group more and as it becomes more of an attractive authority group, then you need to add your own guidelines and rules as you see fit. So I always start with 4 basic ones. No promoting unless you message an admin. give advice that's helpful in a polite way. And also the last rule, which sometimes we add, sometimes we don't add, is always add value. And that rule depends on the type of group it is. You know, like always have posts that add value to somebody. So that just is a basic frame.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good framework to have. And I feel like one of the big ones is I don't know about you and how you operate your groups. One of my biggest rules is like no JV promotions. Like don't advertise like affiliate products, don't advertise your products. Nobody wants to see them. Nobody's going to buy them. And all it does is really bring down the group. So when you have somebody that posts something along those lines, when you have somebody who will post, say like a spammy post, do you immediately block in that person? Or how do you go about that?
I have sort of like 3 and you're out. So if you violate a rule 3 times, then I kick you out. But I always try to message the person because sometimes it's innocent. You know, we're all probably part of more groups than we can count, more groups than we can possibly keep up with, and they all have their unique set of rules. And so I like giving somebody the benefit of the doubt that maybe they just forgot what group they were posting in. And so I always message them on Facebook. If I have access to their email, then I'll send them an email. And I tell them, I explain, you know, I needed to delete your post because we don't allow promotions. If you would like to promote something, please email me. Let me know what this promotion is about and how it would benefit the group. And then I go from there. If they keep violating the rules, then yeah, kick them out because they're not listening to you and they're not respecting you. But I would say at least give people the benefit of the doubt that it's an innocent mistake.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, that makes good sense. And another question, I guess, I just saw this question come through. Let's say if you don't have an email list, you don't really have any following right now. I mean, you're truly starting from zero. How do you go about that? What's like the best approach to go out and be able to start building up that growth? I mean, if you're like truly at zero right now, you're just coming in and you're just starting up.
Yeah, so honestly, I wouldn't, if you're starting at complete ground zero and you have no following, no email list, nothing, honestly, I would set the group idea aside until you build an email list. I mean, it could be 50 people, it could be 100 people email list through public social media pages. I would join other people's groups that are in your target niche and start building those relationships, offering advice, offering helpful tips with no angle, just showing up, being present, establishing yourself within other people's groups, public Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platform that you use and gravitate towards, and start having an opt-in on your website or a simple landing page that gets people onto your email list. And then from there, I would just say, like, have 100 people on your email list before saying that you're going to launch a group, because then you at least have a small tribe to launch something to. And even if 20 people or 50 people join, at least you're starting somewhere. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend having a Facebook group until you build a small following first.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that makes really good sense. And guys, does anybody have any questions about that part? Anything to do about how to start the group, okay? Because I want to make sure that at least you have a firm understanding of that, because the next part we're about to move into is really where Devani shines. So I just want to make sure, does everybody understand? Guys, just give me a 1 right now if you do understand how this process works. Just give me a 1. I want to make sure every single person here understands that process very, very well, and that you are able to go out and execute on that. Published. So Joy's asking right now, she's saying, can you, like, when you are having somebody come to that email opt-in that you are talking about, so when you are running those advertisements, what do you give them in exchange for signing up and giving you their email? Do you give them an ebook or anything along those lines?
Yes and no. So when it depends on the group and it depends on the purpose. So you want to, when you're sending them to the group, you're offering them the group for free. So it's not yet a paid group. So that's their benefit. They're getting a community. And so you don't necessarily need to offer them anything else. If you feel like you need to add something, definitely say, hey, as part of you opting into this group, I will also give you a free email guide, a PDF thing on, XYZ topic, or a video training that I did, or you can do that. But honestly, them being a part of your community is the main goal, and you don't want to add too many options and things for people to opt into, because you know the quote is like, if you have too much to think about, then you're not going to make a choice. So just keep it as simple as possible.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that makes good sense. So if you're really starting, and Erica just asked this question as well, she was just saying, can you go over again how to get those original email lists? I think you touched upon it really good. I really like the fact that you're using the community as the offering. It's not an ebook. It's not anything along those lines. It's simply like join the community, be with like-minded people, and help each other grow. Correct?
And it's amazing how powerful that is, because people want to feel like they're part of people who understand who they are, and that they can talk to about, you know, their problems and solutions and just moving forward in life. And that's really powerful. And I don't think you need to water that down with any other offer. I mean, do it if you feel like you have to, but you don't have to.
Yep, absolutely. And then Joe just asked, how does the invite from the Facebook group done inside the email? So like, what do you send out in that email to actually invite people into your community?
So when they opt in, on the thank you page, we'll have, you know, thanks for opting in, here's the link to the group. And then in a follow-up email, we'll also say, hey, you know, we're just touching base. You wanted to join this community. And we'll just briefly touch over the benefits again. And then another sign off that says, click this link to join the group. And it leads to the direct URL, the Facebook/group/ name of your group or that string of numbers. And then they can click to join. So yeah, you can, to verify whether, what I used to do is I would manually in the email system, like verify to make sure the person's email was in the group, but you can use Zapier and it can connect to any of your mailing systems, and you can create like a Zap that connects to your email list, and it'll say contact requested to join this group. So you don't have to manually, it'll email you, so you don't have to manually do it. But just starting out, be as simple as possible.
Yep, exactly. And I agree with that. Everything that you're saying is on point. And we use quite a bit of that sometimes. I mean, and Patty just asked this, and I just responded in the chat. But she was like, so how are you going into other groups and then getting them to come to your groups if you tell people not to promote yourself? And I'm assuming what you just do is you just join the conversation. You just start making friends with people.
Yeah.
You go in and provide value.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good segue question to how to sort of get people to buy into who you are. And part of that, what you want to do, sort of like Gary Vaynerchuk and many other people talk about it, is you want to give value. You know, you want to genuinely help people in your niche. So when you're joining other people's groups, I say really make your presence known as somebody who offers value just for the sake of offering value, not because you have an angle. And that's been what's worked really well for me. It's worked really well for other people, and not just in the marketing space. And you're just coming from a place of service. So you're saying, hey, this person has a question in my friends group that's also about real estate, so I'm just going to answer. And that builds that relationship, and that person recognizes you as somebody who knows what they're talking about, somebody who can help them, and somebody who's not trying to immediately sell them on something. It's when you immediately try to be like, oh, I'm helping you by answering your question. By the way, I have this group. That just comes off as really sleazy. So you don't want to do that.
Correct. I agree. And I think this is the best segue. I think you are correct. How do you, okay, this is the big thing, because this is where so many groups fail. I mean, like right off the have that middle ground between providing value to your group and being able to collect emails and then start monetizing that group. What's that balance that you have? Yeah,
so like any social media strategist will tell you, like any a good social media plan, when you're creating your group, you're also developing a content plan. So I'm going to assume you are a regular content creator, whether you do blogging or videos or vlogging or whatever you do, you have a content stream. If not, I definitely recommend that you start creating content in some format that helps people, that's public. So create specific content for your community that's exclusive. That is like, and that's part of the benefit, is like you get exclusive content, you get to be the first person to see this content, and you get first dibs on what I do. That's part of the intrigue. It's kind of like creating a clique, except not in the traditional like, oh, you can't be part of this way, but more in the you guys have bought into me at a certain level, so I'm going to provide the value first to you. And you do that by assuming you know your target market, and there's two angles to this. One is you know your target market really well already, and so you already know what content they need. Or two, you use your group as a bit of a focus study for you to learn what they need, and then you provide that to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And great question from Erica right now. How much time do you actually spend providing value to that group? I mean, are you dedicating your whole day to providing value to that group, or are you just adding in little bits and pieces?
No, so that's a fantastic question. So it depends on how your business is set up. If you want to basically always, if your group is going to be your primary lead gen source, which I don't necessarily recommend. I mean, it's a fantastic way to generate leads, but I don't recommend it being your only way. But if it is for now, then I would spend a good amount of time growing that target market through like emailing people and through providing value. But I would not spend like all day doing that. I would spend like 1 to 2 hours max, because you also need to work on your business. You also need to serve the people who are already paying you. And so whether it's hiring somebody to help you manage it, whether it's doing it yourself, set a chunk of time longer than 2 hours a day. That's a lot of time though. I typically spend like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening answering people's questions, responding to them, getting them going. But when you're first starting out, you're going to need to find that flow for yourself.
Correct. And that's awesome. And so now that you're providing that value, you're consistently doing it. And are you doing like one piece of value per day? Is that kind of like your rule of thumb, or a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, 1 a day, 2 a day. It really depends. Again, like a lot of the rules of Facebook groups are similar to any other social media content rules, so that you're going to have slow days, you're going to have active days. And when you're just getting started, is like your first like couple weeks, your first month, you're going to be doing a lot of content creation that will feel like maybe not a lot of people are responding. You have 50 to 100 members, you get 4 or 5 comments, and it's not going to feel like a lot, but that's part of your growth. That's part of your growth phase. And so, I mean, one piece of content a day. Learn to find the patterns in when people interact, because you want to post the most when people are going to be in there talking.
Correct.
And
exactly.
Whether it's asking them questions, asking a poll, asking them what they need, or just saying, hey guys, I know that a lot of you are struggling with learning how to gain local clients for your real estate business. Here is a quick video. And also live streaming in groups is great, because you get that notification that says, Eric is live in this group, Adam is live in the digital group, and utilizing that trains people to notice and come and engage.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And doing this, so now that you're providing that value, you're consistently going out and doing that. Now let's get to the fun part. How do you start monetizing that group? So now that you're doing this, you're building this up, you're doing all this value and everything for free. Now, how do you start positioning it in a way where you can actually start creating a monetary gain from it?
Yeah, so that is basically giving them the offer. And like any page, you give it to them. So you say, then I assume for like a month or two, let's say for a month or two, you've been really watching, you've been cultivating this group, you've been really learning what they need. And so again, there's 2 ways. Either you already have a course or product to sell, or you need to figure out what to create for these people. So if you already have something to sell, you give it to them, basically, just like you would in an email, just like you would on your Facebook page. You say, hey guys, I've created this product for you. It will help you with this, this, and this. And that's how you do that. Again, you're doing this simultaneously while you're doing your email marketing to the product, while you're doing your regular social postings, if you even do that. And then while you're also doing any Facebook advertising, if you're doing that already. So it's sort of a symbiotic relationship, your group, your email list, your regular page. If you do not have a course or product that you're selling, if you're still in the development phase of that, then for the few months that you've been managing the group, you've been getting a lot of data, and now it's time to act on that data. What do they need? What can you build really quickly to give them what they need? Can you host a paid webinar and say, hey guys, for $47, I'm gonna have a 2-hour Q&A with you guys. And if you launch this to your main list or to your main public page, you might say, and I'm discounting this for members of the group. It's typically X amount. And and then that's how you launch that. And you basically build on what people want. You're building things that people need from you. And you document the questions. I would say start an Excel list or an Excel spreadsheet, documenting questions that people ask you, the replies you give them. Launch a mini course on that. So with the real estate example, if you're a local real estate agent and you're helping, if you're a local digital marketer and you're helping real estate agents, document every question you get asked and package that into something you can sell. And it doesn't need to be something expensive. It doesn't need to be a $1,000, $2,000 course. You can start at $200. You can start at $100. But what you need to do, it's basically like once you've gathered all the data, you have to act on it. And you have to sell them before they get tired and leave to somebody else for more.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big thing about the group is, and I really like what you said. So you're saying that you're providing this value, and then every once in a while, so like every couple of days or so, what you'll do is you'll offer a free session or a free webinar or something along those lines. Or, hey, if you wanted to upgrade your membership or something along those lines. So if you want priority access, if you want like a better quality stuff, then that's when you're basically saying, okay, we'll sign up, register for this. And then if you do that webinar, if you do a free training, just to get that material out there, you offer that at a significantly reduced price, and you're able to go in and do that. Now, when you post that content, like what do you post inside the group when you are asking the group to attend an event or to attend or to register for more premium content?
Yeah, so I basically start with a greeting, like, hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Depends on the day. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, it's Wednesday. How are you doing? You want to personalize it to the tone. You will always want to keep your same authentic tone, no matter what you post, whether it's a sales thing, whether it's a value offer, because people will engage with you when you're being authentic, and you don't need to adopt like this salesy voice, like, I'm doing this free bonus thing. And if people can read through that, right? So you just want to say, hey guys, I'm doing this training, I'm doing this live webinar, or I'm doing this little mini course, and it's gonna cover boom, 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 list the benefits, and say, if you want this, here it is, here's the link. I would love to see you on the other side. That's all you have to do. It does not need to be this enormous copywritten, sleazy thing. I mean, if you love copywriting, go for it. If you're really good at copywriting, go for it. Most business owners, that's not necessarily their skill set unless they pay someone to do it or unless they are a copywriter. But the best way to do it is just to be like, hey guys, here's what you need, and list what they need. Tell them that this is what they asked for and give it to them. Another way to do it, if you like video better than writing, is you can do a live stream and have the link in the description. And you can just say, hey guys, I'm live streaming. We've been engaging for a few months now. We've been talking about your concerns, your problems, your issues. And tomorrow or this afternoon, I'm launching a mini course that answers all of your questions, and then drop the price. If it's going to be a discounted price, then tell them those details. And then that's how you do it. So those are two ways. But really, it's just about giving people what they ask for, and you just tack on the price. It's no different than any other. Seriously though, the mindset people have when there's a price tag shifts sometimes, and you don't need to do that because you're offering value. You've already spent time up front cultivating this audience and getting them bought into you.
Yep, absolutely. That's great, and I really like that. And when you make your first offer for that group, for that community, what is always that first offer that you make to start that shift to the monetization standpoint?
I honestly don't like making a big deal about it being the first thing. If you're really nervous, I would say just start at a smaller price point offer. Like, hey, I have a $79 2-hour video course on how to get 5 real estate agents or 5 people to buy a house within, a month, whatever it is, and just give it to them and just be upfront about it. You don't need to, you don't need to change your tone. You just give them what it is. And I know that's really hard to wrap your mind around, because it's like you want this tangible thing, like how do I talk? How do I communicate to these people? Just do it. You know what I mean? Post the link and see your reply, because what you've been doing all throughout before you drop that for sale is you've been building a relationship, right? And so it shouldn't be hard to just say, okay guys, and now here's the product. You're not changing your tone. You're just being the same you. And
awesome. So you do the same exact thing. So basically you just take that value that you have, you position an offer, and then you just put the price tag on it. And then when they come, since they're like, you're trying to get them to come in, you offer them a significantly reduced price than you normally charge somebody else. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, perfect. And a couple of the things that I think that you could do now, when they are coming from that Facebook group, are you sending them back to another landing page, or are you just doing it inside? Like, how are they getting to that material? Do you send them back?
Yeah, so if you're starting a group and they're already on your email list, and most of the members, so there's 2 ways to do it. Some people have groups where they build the group. It's free for anybody to join. It's like a free-for-all group. And then from there, they have these little mini offers that are like, opt in for this free PDF guide, opt in for this free video training, and then that's how you get them on the email list. If it's a group where they're already on your email list, just send them page that sells whatever product you're doing, or to the shopping cart. You can do it both ways. I know in one of the groups, sometimes they've already bought a specific product or opted in for a specific download. We just send them to the shopping cart that outlines whatever they're buying. And this guy uses Sam Cart. You can use Thrive Cart. You can use whatever shopping cart you're using. And it just basically gives them the outline, because in the group, they've already they already know what they're getting. And so now it's just buy it, right? If these people don't really, if you're dropping a new product, then I would send them to a landing page, their card info from there.
All right, awesome. And then a couple of things, what are the different types of offers that you can have? I mean, let's just say, like, for example, because our community, for example, we started off where we were just introing people in, like we had all of our community members start coming in, and then all of a sudden we do have some outside people starting to join. So what are some of the different offers that you are offering inside those groups? So like, how are you driving that traffic to make sure that everybody in your community, you are capturing their information?
Yeah, so you can do it a couple ways. Typically, I recommend not making it too hard until you have 50 to 100 members. That's like a sweet spot, because you've built enough of a community where somebody doesn't come in and it feels like it's just a ghost town, right? And that means you're going to sacrifice a few opt-ins here and there, and that's okay. It's 50 to 100 people, and they might opt into an offer later down the road. They might not, but at least you're building that traction. After that stage, what we do is, the description field in a Facebook group where you can write what your group is about. We have so we'll have the description will be like, if you're, a real estate agent in the town of blankety blank, and you want to learn how to generate more leads and traffic and sales on houses in this local area, join this group. There's, 50 other members who are, other members here who can share ideas, share thoughts, and I'm here to help you with your digital strategy. Then you have a apply here, and then the link to your landing page for them to apply. And
That's
then they
awesome.
just enter their information from there.
Yeah, exactly. And Brian
And
just
you're
asked.
always, and you're always going to get people who join just randomly because they find your group, because maybe they have a mutual friend and whatever. And you can, what I do with that is I glance at their profile, and this does take a little bit of time, but I'll glance at their profile, see if they're like a legit person as opposed to a spammer. And if they seem like they fit your target market, which you can tell like if their profile has information, then I just send them a quick message and just say, hey, this is an approval only group. Please go to this link if you're still interested. And that's that. If they come back, they rarely do they come back to actually fill the information out, but you're capturing, and you can just create like in Evernote or in Google Docs, you can create like a canned message that just that you automatically message somebody.
That's a really smart idea. I think I'm actually going to start using that. That's a really good idea. So basically, guys, what she's just saying is when somebody actually does try to request to join your group, send them a message and then say, hey, fill out your information here, and then you can join the group. So that way you can guarantee that every single person in the group, you do have their information. That's a really good, that's a really smart tactic. And
once you have like 400 to 500 members in your group, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can actually create like a Typeform questionnaire. Typeform is typeform.com. It's a really simple, beautiful survey system. I love using it for surveys. But like you can actually create questionnaires. Like in one of my groups, we target entrepreneurs who are making like between 10,000 and 100,000 income. And so in our questionnaire, we ask like, what do you do? What's your website? You know, what are your biggest struggles? And then we ask them their target income level. And so that's how we approve it. And you can have different, you know, if you want specific type of people joining your group. But the thing with surveys like that is, again, it takes somebody more time up front. And so the pro of that is that you get very targeted leads because they actually have to fill a form out. And so it's like a 5 to 10 minute process. And so it's putting sort of a wall between you and just anybody asking to join. The not so good benefit is that you don't grow your group as quickly. So you just have to weigh that option out. Like, do you want highly targeted people that really buy into you and are ready to take that next step and fill that form out? Or do you just want to grow the group, have a good traffic flow, and then later on you can implement something like that?
Absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And Brian just asked a quick question. He says, are you using offers to segment your group? How do you go about, or do you have everybody have the same offers? Or are you trying to figure out who's in which niche and who's in other niches and then offer them targeted messages? Or does everybody get a pretty blanketed message?
Yeah, so you do that based on what people opt into. So I assume you mean once they're in the group, how do you figure out who's interested in what? So when you send out offers, then you create unique automations for that particular offer, and people sort of filter themselves. That gets more into the email marketing side. And you want to notice, like, you know, these 10 people are more interested in, you know, Facebook advertising as real estate agents, but these people are more interested in doing webinars or something. But that's more on the email side. And so you want to have your segmentation set up in there beforehand.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that makes good sense.
I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, 100%. And then let me see. That's okay. So a quick question about this is, so when you are doing these sales, what can you sell your group members? What can you sell your community members? I know like you have courses, affiliate offers, paid masterminds, like what else can you do, and how do you position those as well?
Yeah, so most of the groups I manage, it's a lot of entrepreneurs that do online. So I haven't managed that many groups that do like products, physical products. I know there's a lot of Amazon groups that their thing is helping people sell the product side, the physical mailing product side and all that. But the best way to do that, you can sell e-learning courses, digital content, so webinars, videos, things like that, podcasts. You can sell mastermind groups, live events using your group. Like if you're going to host a live mastermind, a lot of you mentioned being local business owners. If you wanted to say, hey guys, who wants to meet at Starbucks, you know, on, I don't know, the third Thursday of every month to talk about the industry, or so you can do that. You could sell live workshops and online workshops to help people. So anything in that space is more the realm that I've been working in, and those tend to work pretty well.
That's great. That's great. And do you have any last things that you think that you can bring value to the group? And guys, do you have any last questions? That way we can move into it. I want to see what Devani has to say as well. Any last little things from you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it sounds so trivial, but the biggest thing is really honing in on the purpose and benefits that your member will have, because that is really the break group, I feel like. And we've all been in groups where it just seems like, what's going on here? You know, is it about business? Is it about lifestyle? Like, what's going on? So just really honing in on the purpose of your group, like what, because that will help you in not only marketing it to the target market that you want in the group, but also it'll help you later on down the road on what to sell the people. Because if you have a purpose of the group, like for Adam, your purpose of the digital strategy group is really offering the best information and technology to business owners. That makes it really easy for you to not only target who's in the group, but target the offers in the group. So anything that's about the technologies and the information and the cutting edge advice for business owners to implement in their business, right? And so just narrowing that down as much as you can is the best thing you can do to grow your group, because the more clarity you have, the more clarity your members will have.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm really glad that you said that. I mean, knowing what the community is all about is absolutely 100% the biggest thing. And let me just check. I have one question coming through. Okay, so Erica's just saying, so when you are like, can you just go over one more time how to get that first 100 people to your group? Because that is definitely the biggest thing in getting started. So how do you get that first 100 people to your group?
So if you already have a following and an email list, then you just send it out to those people. I mean, if you have, so you send it out an email saying, you know, hey, name, I'm launching a Facebook group. This is what it's about. This is how it will serve you. If you want to join, click here, join link. That's a very simple email. Again, simple as possible. And then if you have a Facebook following or an Instagram or Twitter following or whatever, Snapchat, whatever social platform you use, tell them, like, guys, I'm launching a new group. This is what it's going to be about, the benefits. Again, narrow benefits that you're selling to those people. If you don't have any following, ground zero, build an email list and social following first, and then launch the group. Like, you at least want 100 emails in your system, in your MailChimp, whatever you're using to collect your emails. You want at least 100 people in your email before you launch a group. Because then if you don't have any following and you're trying to build an email list and a Facebook group and your website and your social media, you're way too scattered, and you need to focus your attention on like 1 or 2 platforms. If you're starting from ground zero is best if you already have a following.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And I'll have you just talk about a little bit what you do, and if somebody does it. And let me see, guys, how did you enjoy this session, guys? How did everybody enjoy this session? Just give me a big yes if you liked it. And I want to see what everybody thought about this, because I really think that there's a massive amount of value here, guys. I always talk about Facebook groups. I love Facebook groups, and you can monetize it like absolute crazy as long as you have a good path to go down. And this path that she has written right here is huge, and it's definitely bringing value. So guys, let me see, put a 1 in the chat box if you are interested in learning out more about Devani and what she does and how she could even help you get your business to succeed. So guys, give me a 1 right now. I want to see how many people here are looking and definitely want to learn more about how Devani does what she does and how she can help you grow your business as well. All right, I have tons and tons and tons of 1s coming through. So Devani, let us know, how does people get in touch with you and where can they find out more about you?
Yeah, so my website, vitalmediamarketing.com. So vitalmediamarketing.com. And I help entrepreneurs, like I said in the beginning, I help entrepreneurs build communities that convert. And that includes helping you with your Facebook groups. I do consulting, we do implementing done-for-you services. And yeah, I basically help you guys achieve your goal through monetizing groups.
Awesome, awesome. And do you have a website that people can go to where to check you out?
Sorry, you cut out that last bit.
Ah, sorry about that. Where can they go? What website can they go to check you out as well?
Well, that is my website. I know I think in a Facebook message, I sent you a specific link for, they can download a checklist for starting a Facebook group that basically just outlined everything I talked about how to start. But yeah, vitalmediamarketing.com. I'm Devani Anjali Alderson on Facebook, and on the website, all the social medias are on the website as well. So, and I basically, if you email me, which is on the website, or send me a message through the social medias, I'm pretty quick at responding.
Okay, awesome, guys. That sounds really good. And as always, us at Video Remix, we love to be able to bring real talent on that understands how to go out and all of these different ideas. And just to kind of wrap it up and summarize the whole thing, everybody on here pretty much owns Video Remix right now. Going out and as you are starting your business using personalized video, starting your social media agency, and really getting everything underway and going, using this technique, this is a phenomenal way to go out and start attracting either local clienteles or your online market to start bringing value into your community. And right here, I mean, just even what she's saying, I mean, just bringing 100 people just to start your community and then start growing it bit by bit. I mean, if you're struggling, one of your things is that you're struggling to go and get your first client, I mean, using this technique right here, I mean, there is no, like, you can do all of this online. You don't need to go door knocking. There's no cold calling needed. You don't have to go and work. I mean, she said just 1 hour per time that you're going out and getting this started. So guys, it was great seeing everybody here. I definitely enjoyed this session, and I hope that all of you got some serious value out of it. I see the question box going pretty crazy right now. So guys, have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much, Devani, for coming on. And guys, definitely go check out her site as well. You can get some good value there as well. She sent me over the checklist. You're definitely going to enjoy it. So thank you so much, Devani, and have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Bye, guys.